Hey, how's it going? I I have cards. I have yesterday and today cards, but oh, I guess I only have yesterday cards. I didn't even pull one for today yet. It's like I think almost 10 in the evening. I'll catch up. Anyway, I had written something about what I've been thinking about because a number of things kind of converged and sort of kind of solidified in my mind, but I was taking some notes, and then sometimes when I start writing, then I have to like keep going. I can't just stop at the note I was gonna leave, which is fine. I don't mean to make it sound like it's such a pain, it's such a problem. It's not. But since I can't see through my eye, I only have the one that works. One of these eyes was not functioning in the first place. Like, it used to work just fine, and then it grew itself a tumor on the nerve, and now I can't see out of it. So one works, and the other is, evidently I have a cataract, so it just like this summer started to be like, I'm just gonna grow really fast now and completely interfere with your ability to function. Like, if I have to look at anything with small print, I have to wait until someone else comes along to help me. I have a magnifying glass and glasses, and I still can't see. I still can't see good. So I don't know what I wrote. I just tried to look at it. I cannot make it out. And because I kind of, I guess, tranced out while I was writing it, I don't remember. But I remember what I was thinking about. Excuse me, I guess I'm having a really allergic day today. But so what I was thinking about is there is a guy that came into my feed on YouTube, and he's a spiritual guy, and he's another one of these people that I seem to be attracted to, and they are the former Christian people. Like, who is a famous one that people would know? I don't know, just like the strict upbringing where you can't really have things that are in the outside world that everyone else has, like music or TV or fun or makeup or whatever, just things that at normal stages kids go through on their way to being an adult. And these families are like, you don't get to know anything about sex, and you certainly don't even think about having any. In fact, you're engaged to your father until he can turn you over to whomever he finds suitable for you to be married off to. Like, the kind of strict, like, sounds like you don't even get a choice. And then there's lots of religious education, but it's not my experience, but from the outside it looks like, for one thing, whatever the religion, however it works that they're teaching them, it's really mean, and it's really cruel, and it's more like political party talk when they talk, like, it's not very loving and inclusive and help the poor or the neighbor or go visit the prisoner. Like, they're like, let's go beat up the poor and make them prisoners. Total different mindset. So, I don't even know how I got there. Anyway, I'm just going to leave that in there, I guess, because I don't know what I was talking about anymore. I know something about not being able to see, and I found the guy that was talking about the stuff. So what attracted me to go ahead and watch this guy's page was because he was talking about Gnostics. It was right there on the title card. So that's sort of like the area where I've been studying for, like, seriously knowing that's what I was studying and not just vaguely here and there and everywhere. I've been paying attention to that a lot, because the doctrine of it makes sense to me. I don't know if doctrine's the right word, but the Gnosticism comes from a certain place in history, in sort of like a, I don't know how better to explain it, but like a biblical tribe sort of situation. But this guy is like Monty Mater and can just spit out all these biblical sections and opine on their meaning and what they meant at the time and what they mean now. And so, but I find that very interesting. I when I lost my previous channel on Blue Sky, I had a whole bunch of atheists following me. Now I have two that are following me. And what's interesting to me about them is that they're so interesting to talk to about these things, and they're so like more well informed about your religion than like you are as the religious person a lot of times, because that doctrine you do get stuck in because you're dissuaded from looking beyond it. Like, don't be trying to think for yourself. Here's what you do. Here's the book. We'll tell you what to do and how to act. And that's what a lot of people think religion is, I guess. Although I don't think that they would see it quite that way, as like, as that manipulative, as that like, you know, baby bird feeding. I don't think they look at it that way. I think they feel like they have all kinds of autonomy, and they meant to do that, and they know what they're doing. And they probably do, to their way of thinking, which is fine, because it's their life, it's their business. Like, we can just get out. Let them have, like, you want someone, like, standing over your life and telling you how to live it and all that? I don't. But, you know, I'm not going to kink shame anyone. If that's what they like, then great. But so the atheists, I find, often know more, like encyclopedically more, than like the person that's, you know, I love Christ, I'm a Christian, when they're their version of it. But I think it differs from what I and the Gnostic guy, think is going on there. But, you know, hey, free will. Everyone gets to think. Oh, there we go. Everyone gets to think whatever they want to think. See, I told you, this is why. I'm going to hit my head. This is why I don't do that on camera, because I'm always throwing them on the floor. Ooh, number one. Okay, so that's today. Anyway, the guy that I found, his name is Jacob Cub Cougar. It's Kuker, so I'm pretty sure that's the pronunciation. But he has a lot to say about spirituality and biblical stuff and Gnosticism, and he's very interested, and he's very detailed. I don't know if he said he was a psychic medium or not. I think he might have, which is also an interesting thing, to have the psychic medium in the religious family, where I think, like in some parts of the Bible, there's seers or prophets, and it's fine, and then other parts they're witches and they're up to evil, and I'm like, well, I mean, it depends on the person, really. I think you really have to look at, you know, first of all, not blaming those people that you are accusing of things if you don't necessarily know it to be the case. Like, if it's just what you think and are afraid of, those are two different things. So, anyway, he was talking about angels and demons, and what they are, and how they are, what they represent to us. And so he's got a few different little shorts talking about it. And there's three that I looked at. And the thing that kind of stuck with me is that he was like, angels and demons, I don't want to like totally misquote him, but I'm just trying to remember as best as I can. He was saying that like angels and demons can come in to us, which I totally think is true. like that's how like possession happens. Like the bad kind, but there's also like you can be probed, telepathically by these entities, and it's not necessarily always the evil scary thing, and that's, I think, ignorance talking. Like you just don't know, and you're assuming things and guessing, and I think that happens a lot with the Bible, and I think that's why I find the atheists and the reformed Christians so interesting, because they have insights. Like they've broken free from a cult, basically. They will say that. They left a cult, and so I haven't like been trapped in one to step out of. I think I've just been as free as possible the whole time, but I can't imagine having been in one and then like it's a whole new world. Like in various ways, like maybe like someone like a parent or whatever that's sort of keeping you in like where they can keep an eye on you and like not letting you freely live your adult life, like that engaged to your parent weirdness thing, promise thing, like anyway. I don't want to get stuck there. He was saying like they get in us all the time and like talk to us, give us messages, or messages or temptations or advice, however you want to look at it. And I thought, yeah, totally, I can see that, because I think with demons, like they can manifest physically something, but I don't know how long they can maintain that, because they're not really of this world, and they don't really have, from what I may have misunderstood this, but from what I understand, when they come here from wherever they come from, they can only maintain like physical cohesion for a limited amount of time, even if, like, obviously they're going to be powerful. Well, not obviously. Like, if you don't know about things crossing over, it takes a certain amount of energy, like for a dead person, especially a new person that hasn't been dead a long time, that doesn't know how to work the controls really of like the new composition that you became after passing on. They still have like the personality though. Like, I think it has to do with like if you actually go when you pass and report for your make your report, basically your employment review or your time on Earth. Like, did you do what you came here to do, basically? And from what I understand is the review involves you sort of seeing your whole life before your eyes, but the focus being on what did you do right and for people, and what did you not do when you could have done something or should have done something, because that would have been the right thing to do. So you get to see where you got it right and you got it wrong, and you get to feel, I guess, a lot of people have said this, like, I don't mean like 10 people, I've probably seen hundreds by now make the same statement about it. What you get to see is how the people felt when they were having the interaction with you. So I feel like you're having, like, you're watching a playback, except it's sense around for real. Like, you can sense the event, like relive it, I guess, but from the other person's point of view. And I guess that's pretty rough. I don't know. Like, it sounds like when I've heard the retelling, it sounds like when they get to that part, like, it's the hardest thing and it really broke them, and I mean, I guess it's a big deal. That doesn't seem like enough, like the right level of verbiage for that statement, but yeah, I mean, it's a big deal. So that's why I'm always talking about, like, not always, I just start talking about it, but like remembering as best I can, like a person in AA, let me go around and make amends, or at the very least, remember who and what happened, write an apology, and, if I can locate the person, then I guess I can give it to them at that time, but people have gotten pretty scattered, and I didn't always know, like, last names or where people went. Some weird thing when you're young, you have, like, these full-on Technicolor experiences, but you know them for, like, 10 weeks and you never knew a last name or where they lived or just, no pertinent information. Who needs that? So, anyway, he's the guy, Jacob Cooker, he's Cub, he calls himself. So, he says that, they'll go in you because the human form is like the perfect container, like the shape just fits or something. It's comfortable for both sides of the being, I guess, because what he eventually says is that the angels and the demons are like one and the same. And as far as getting in us, he said, like, it made me think of that movie with Denzel Washington and John Goodman, where they're police detectives and there's like a demon and it's jumping from body to body and doing stuff and then jumping out, and then the person is like, what did I do? I can't remember the name of the movie, sorry. Denzel Washington, John Goodman, demon thing. Search bar that, you'll get it. It was like a pretty big movie at the time, so, and good and suspenseful, like, I don't really like horror movies, but I thought that was pretty horrible. Like, that is scary, because I think that kind of thing can be real, which is what I was trying to get to before. Like, with the demons, it's kind of been my contention that we give them everything they need to feed and have fun, and jump us, basically. Like, yes, it's called possession in a lot of cases, but there are other times, I think, when there's, like, two people behind the wheel, and, like, you're the car, but there's two people looking out the same windshield, or two beings. And so, like, they don't have to let you know they're there. They can just be wherever, and we're just not used to perceiving in that way. So unless they, like, exert themselves, or you're extra sensitive, you're not gonna know if they don't want you to. I don't think, but like I said, we give them like this, this great. Oh man, I'm thinking of a term, but I'm trying to think of it, and I'm not coming up with it. So I have to use other language. When the field is good for growing, fertile, we provide fertile ground for them to, like I said, just, the fruit that they're harvesting inside of us is, what are you afraid of? What makes you angry? Let me press those buttons, because they like that. It's fun for them, and I guess it's a snack too or something. And the angels, well, and then, like, the demons are, I mean, pretty well known what they get up to. They're not like, they may trick you like they're a friend, or trick you that they're something other than what they are, but their intentions are not good for you at all. And that seems like a light and fluffy way to say it, because, like, if they get in you, it's torment, it's like a little bit of hell right inside of you, I guess. And it makes people sick, it takes their energy. It has killed people. It has driven them to do things like harm other people. Like I said, like in that movie, these people get jumped by the entity and do some kind of horrible crime, like homicide or something, and then wake up covered with the homicide person's, like, innards all over them, and just be like, like, what a nightmare. But it's, I think, worse when they're in you, because they can just tweak up the tension, and and amplify whatever fears you got going on in there, or like just get you cranked all up into anger. And like that's like a dangerous place to be emotionally, I feel like, because I see it in myself, I know it well in myself, and I'm seeing it in other people, like just all over the place out in public. Sometimes like worse than others. Like I kind of have been talking about this lately, like people like not being able to stay within like normal boundaries of social boundaries, where they're too angry and they're not like, we have a social compact usually where everyone just kind of knows there's laws and basically obeys them, and people know better than to do something really freaking horrible to someone, especially right out in public. But that's what's been happening. Like, the Karens have gotten, like, supercharged, and they're not just yelling at people and getting all into their space and following them around and making accusations, which is like, if the Karens, they don't have a badge or a right to be doing that. It's not like their job on some property that they may live on, and they don't even know if this stranger that they're going up to lives there or not. But I'm thinking of all of the times that I've seen where the person has every right in all of the business being there, like they live there. So just because you don't know who they are, and what is that? Like, I have never had any of the slightest desire to walk up to a stranger where I lived and demand to know what they were doing there, and who are you? What do you want? Like, well, I'm not the guard. I don't do that. So I don't understand that. And then you'll see these happen online. People will film these interactions happening to them, and I'm particularly referring to like the black people and the Karens, which are going to be the white people in most cases. Sometimes they'll be like maybe a Latino or something else like that, but it's usually a white person. I don't know where that is. I'm not making any claims. I'm just saying that's what I'm seeing. And so they used to just go up and scream and yell and maybe throw stuff and maybe knock down a display in a store or something But now they're like walking up to people, interrogating them, and then like if the person is like, whatever, like with an appropriate response to their inappropriate one, then the Karen gets all crazy and starts like coming up on them, some hit, and then they try to do that thing where like, I'm scared, you're attacking me, get away from me, when they're the one charging another person who's like, get off me, I don't know what it's like a weird thing, and it's like getting more amplified, and I feel like those are the times when the demons jump into your shape and drive it around for a while. And then the angel ones, well, presumably they do the opposite. They inspire you to do good things and be helpful and loving, and not the other weird thing where you're angry and resentful. I don't know why, I have some suspicions. I'm not going to go into all of that now. But he didn't really talk so much about the angel part. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just editing that in my mind, but I did just watch it twice. I just watched it a second time before I started doing this. So there are two other ones, and they basically talk about different sort of angles of this topic of, basically of the way that we behave when this happens to us. And it made me think, when I first heard him talking about, it made me think about when cartoons, like when I was little. So they're like classic. You have to go looking for the cartoons that I saw when I was a kid, but like Looney Tunes and that. You could have seen it on Adult Swim. I think they had just brought it back right before like a little while before Adult Swim like went away on television. So I don't know where you could find that somewhere. I don't know, maybe on Max, because they have Warner Brothers stuff. But anyway, and a lot of the cartoons, not just Warner, like just there were so many different companies that made them. Like I can't think of them now, but there were more. There were like 3 or 4, and so I think Harvey was one that did a comic book, a brand or a company that came on TV. So there was a character, and it doesn't matter what the character is, because I want to talk about the good angel and the bad angel that you see in these cartoons, and they'd be on the character's shoulder, and they'd be really cute, like cute little angel, little cherub, cartoon cherub, and then cute little red little devil, little fork, and little pointy tail. And, you know, obviously, like, one's tempting you, and one's saying, hey, do the right thing, and you're in the middle doing whatever you're doing. Now I'm moving it into a different metaphor, but you're in the middle, and what you have to do is what you always have to do in any situation, is choose, not necessarily temptation over, like, being good, but just choose to do, like, something that is, like, okay, good for you, but also, like, not bad for other people that you're in some sort of interaction with. And just, like, they're like baselines, I feel like. And then, you know, you have the free will, the autonomy to go forward and then decide, like, okay, well, I don't want to do that for whatever reason. Like, I don't feel good about it, and I do want to do this because I'm attracted to it, and it's, like, fun and productive, and this is, like, scary and depressing and dark, or, you know, whatever it is. That's really super simplifying it, but we have these situations, like, every day in our lives, and we make so many choices. It's like, what is that high-speed trading? It's like that's our thought processes are moving even faster, I think, because there's so many that go by, and so the noise is kind of the little manifestation of the little shoulder beings. But, you know, you're in the world, and you're walking around, and you have so many choices. Like, I think of this guy that is trying to make people healthy, and he'll stand in front of a fast food place and try and talk them into it by saying he'll pay for your food if he can take you somewhere healthier. His name's Well-Rounded Human. He's on TikTok and YouTube and whatever else. So I'm just, you know, props to that guy. His name is John. And he just, like, took it upon himself to start doing that to help people, and he's like a healthy guy. He talks about his background, like he went to college for nutrition and something else, but he is a well-rounded young guy, and in New York, and you know, he could have done a lot of things with his education, with his life, but we have this sort of new paradigm that's been growing in, like, maybe the past 5-10 years, where you can start doing something, and then you have a platform like a YouTube, and you can, you know, film yourself doing it, and you get followers, and maybe it even becomes the way to make your living, or just to help someone. And so I think it's interesting that you can be so creative and make a positive choice, or you could do the opposite of that, kind of. And we're seeing, I feel like, the manifestation of people that just want to do the opposite. Like, they're in charge, and they're in charge because they have people behind the scenes really backing them up and helping them financially. And I don't know, I feel like there's, like, kind of mob style pressure going on too, like, do things our way or else, you know, your life's going to be uncomfortable, or be ashamed if something happened to your little puppy, or, you know what I'm saying? Just threats to manipulate people, which is not a pleasant place to be, and sometimes it's hard to extricate yourself from the situations. If it's like a DV, I feel like that's the same lane-ish, more intimate, but still somebody holding its power over someone else with threats and violence. And that's that's column bad, column B, column bad shoulder. So we have people that every day can make a good choice, and they decide not to. They decide to make selfish choices and resentful choices because somebody said the wrong thing. So now everyone even remotely associated with that person, their life has to be miserable, and they'll enact a whole army of people to help with that, which is another bunch of insane choices, if you ask me. Because I don't know, like, I just don't want to show up at my review with a bunch of crap like that on my record, because you leave a lot of sort of casualties behind when you're that way. And that's, what's happening in the United States right now is the result of a bunch of people making their own reality all at the same time, and we've somehow managed to jigsaw puzzle all of the various realities together, and everything's happening at once, and it seems all chaotic and crazy, and you could be fearful, or you could just be kind of like excited in a way, because when what looks like chaos is over, order will emerge from it. Because I don't know, maybe we're just seeing a different side of the change. Like we're seeing the inside of the change sausage, where normally and now things are happening sort of where you can't see them out of sight. The people you don't know of doing things you don't know about that will become public and be like, oh wow, we totally needed this. Like, it was so bad before, and now that we have this, it's better. So I feel like that's happening, and that's what the inside of the change sausage looks like. I was gonna say I don't know why we can see it now, but I have ideas. We're meant to. We're meant to see the garbage and the mess, and we're meant to kind of like make it better and fix it. I mean, if you're gonna like go the route of, I mean, I guess kind of religion, but all of the stuff that's used by religion was around before what we recognize as religion today even came close to existing. So I kind of feel like it's like a separate thing that was going on with this stuff. So, I got sidetracked and forgot where I was going with that. I hate when that happens. Oh, well, the choices. We have the choice to be helpful or be, like, not destructive. Like, at least don't do stuff. Don't help things be destroyed. Or you can, like, be good, be helpful. Even, like, the smallest things make people really happy. Like giving them a hand when they're struggling with, like, packages they need more hands and arms for. Like, and little things like that, people really do appreciate. Or you can do bigger things. Like, I was talking about, like, getting on a platform and, like, going and doing, like, good works. I don't know what else to call it. Like, this is sort of, like, exactly what those words are talking about and the situation is calling for. Like, a lot of us need help right now, and we don't have, like, the money to get things, and it's, like, where to live and where to eat, and your kids need stuff too, and you want to take care of them, and you hope something medical terrible doesn't come up. And it is like the deck is moving under our feet for sure. Like, the waters are turbulent, and the captain of the ship is just making all the wrong moves for his people. You know, like a lot of the things that are happening today that we don't have, that we used to have, that are like not improvements on the previous administration, for example, have been caused by the new one that's there now, because they have an agenda, and they'll say a lot of things that sound right, that sound like you expect a politician to say, but despite a whole bunch of people warning for years, that is not true about this guy. This guy does not tell the truth about stuff or himself. You have to watch out. And for a lot of us, they didn't listen. They didn't listen. We didn't listen, however you want to call it. But people, you know, did what they did. They voted for who they voted for. And it's coming out now is exactly what it looked like. They wanted to just still be sort of like safe and have like all of the mod cons in life, and then the other people that they thought were less than and lower and just didn't like had to be deported, and they were bad criminals and to be put in jail. But that's a ruse, and so is the whole like ICE is a ruse. It's something else than what they're saying, which is you know, a mistruth or an untruth. It's typical. That's just kind of how they roll. But everybody else has to, like, go by the rules and the laws. Don't you even try to get out of line or we'll get you with them. And it's like, you gotta be kidding me. I gotta have you come down on me with the law? That's ridiculous. But it is the way it is right now. So, I mean... It's a rich, rich time of learning experiences, teaching moments. Okay, so I have I have 3 in total. Mary Magdalene cards, declarations of Mary Magdalene. So for yesterday, I have the number 6 first. I'm trying to decide if I want to talk about the 6, and I don't really have anything, so I'm not gonna. Okay, so the card reads, honor and respect in love the partner you reflect in God's grace, for they are the kingdom of love as you are. So, honor and respect in love the partner you reflect in God's grace, for they are the kingdom of love, as are you. Well, that just sounds all like blissful, like losing each other and each other's identity, and I don't think you're supposed to go that deep. The temptation is there, I know, in some cases, but I think you don't want to go there. I think you want to like kind of keep your head and like still be safe for work. Okay, the next one is the number 17, and it says, you are your own church, for your kingdom is within you. Wow, so like your kingdom is in your own self when you're alone, and then when it's the two of you, your combined kingdom is each other. That's interesting. But it does say reflect each other in God's grace, which probably means don't be having DV. Let's stay away from that, because that's not grace. That's something else. That's anger. And you know, this one, it has church in it, which makes your mind want to go immediately to religion, but church has, the meaning has stretched, like the meaning of the word woke has stretched and wandered so far from the original meaning. This word is not that quite. But you want to reflect the best of each other in each other, like if it was your child, your baby, like you want to do everything you can for that child, and that child is gonna appreciate you like no one else because you're gonna be the main one that they know. But that's a special intimacy and a special type of closeness in love, and it's not, divisive, and it's not contentious. And we have a lot of that. Like, I feel like we have to do some work to get out of that mindset of like just being combative and aggressive about everything. Like, even just casual conversation has an edge, it feels like. Okay, so those were yesterday cards, and the today card is the number 1, and it says, my true voice shall be heard through the women of the world. Let me start that again. My true voice shall be heard through the women of this world once again. For I am, and thou art too, Mary Magdalene. So I don't think that we're meant to like put on Mary Magdalene costumes. I think it's more about like the spirit of the thing, and also the nature of you when you're in that headspace, which is, sort of like, she's like one of our main teachers for like how the divine feminine is best described, I guess you would say. And it's not that she's just like somebody's wife or something. She's like a fully self-contained person with her own intelligence and understanding of things. And wow, we thought we had to deal with chauvinism in our time. They're just as bad then. The other disciples couldn't understand why Jesus was like physically loving on her and paying so much attention to her. But it was because she didn't have all of these like biases and resentments, I guess, and all these like things in her mind, like these holdbacks, these things holding you back, kind of, when you're trying to go forward. And it's like stuff that you could just let it go, but you should just let it go, but you can't. And so you're dragging around like this emotional baggage, I guess, and it just like interferes with your being able to move forward in life. And so you want to get out of that. You want to like evolve from it. You want to derive all of what you're meant to learn from the experience, so you can move plateau and take a few breaths before you move on to the next learning experience. But that, takes time. It takes time to get to know yourself, and then it takes time to get to know like the new language of what do you do as you get to know yourself. Like, where do you go with that? Where do you go from there with that? And it's like a lot of inner work. I don't want to say shadow work. I mean, sometimes it is, but that's not all it is. Sometimes it's work that's not in the shadow, So I think I'm done, but I just feel like everything is just like ratcheting up, and then it's causing it's causing us to also ratchet up. Like, it's easy to become anxious and fall into it, or even get caught up in anger that's not even yours, but you get it, then it's like getting carried away watching a movie or something, except it's not a movie. This is your life, so you know, whatever you're doing has real consequences, and it really affects real other people, which could turn around later and affect you again. It's like, this is real, so it's important to kind of keep it together yourself, so that, what was there used to be? There was a commercial tagline for the Jack LaLanne gym and products line. Jack LaLanne was a fitness guy, and the line was, get it together before it falls apart. That's kind of the situation we're in. It's like, it's falling apart right around us, and now is our opportunity to, like, understand the situation, take stock. What can you do? How can you help? How can you, like, prevent more harmful injury or something while this sort of collapse is happening? You know, collapse while new construction, rebirth is happening as well, like, simultaneously. Like I said in the beginning. And so, what I think has a lot to do with how things work out going forward. Like I feel like the best attitude I could have going forward is to just try and maintain a level of neutrality, and to not get caught up in what I'm watching and what I'm hearing, or like a conversation with anyone. Because sometimes, especially with strangers and you're out, that can get ratcheted up really fast, and like, it's just amazing. You know, not recently, but like last summer, I had an incident in Walmart where this woman was just doing that thing where they want to help the person they see in a wheelchair, but they don't want to ask the person in the wheelchair if they want help, or what kind, if they do want help. Like, let's just say there was a wrestling match to get a package away from me, and I just kept saying, no thank you, no thank you, no thank you. I must have said it 20 times. I don't think she heard me say it one time, because she was so determined to help me, and I'm like, you're not helping me, stop. It's kind of like that, and then she got mad, and she just kept getting herself more and more whipped up, and I'm like, okay, thank you, I appreciate your help, and she just wanted to yell. So I had to let her, and she, like, wasn't letting us pass. Oh, it was a thing. But, you know, it was really up to her to control herself, not me or anyone else. And I see people, like that was a year ago, and it's, like I said, it's gotten worse. I'm not sure if it's people's fear. Well, I know it is partially that. There's so many things that people are worried about right now, and if I can offer any, like, uplifting message right now, it would be, there's a main big problem affecting everyone almost in the whole world right now, and his name is Mr. President, and Mr. President is not in the best of health. No one has to do anything to him. He's done it over his lifetime to himself. He's not in good health. He doesn't look good. And so I think we'll have a big sigh of relief. Everyone around the world, in the government, the people under him, the people that have to work with him or near him, everyone that has sort of been subject to his vindictiveness, everyone will be relieved for that portion of this period to be over and done with. Like, I'm sorry, I don't, like, normally say things like that, but he doesn't even look happy, and he looks uncomfortable, and he looks like he doesn't feel good, and I know it's his personality to like never say never and never give up, but it's like you're losing the battle, you know? So I just hope that soon he'll feel better, and I hope that we'll in turn feel better at the same time. But I know it's going to make a huge difference. It's like that one shoe still so slowly dropping, like it's going through gel or something. But that shoe is going to drop, and I don't know, maybe it's going to coincide with these other changes for the better that are not like visible looking at the moment, but you know, the cycle has to go on, so it is going to change, and it's probably going to change for the better. That's, I think, enough out of me. Thank you and good night.